Now, carrying this thing a little further, in the BBT edition of the Bhagavad Gita, there's a picture of a cow being killed.
You mean the BBTI, the adulterated BBT?
I'm talking about the recent Bhagavad Gita that they printed has a picture of a cow being killed.
Yes.
The cow has the head of a human being, and the cow killer has the head of a cow. Complete concoction. Not only that, when Ray Rama wanted to have a picture of a cow being murdered in a BTG, Srila Prabhupada said to him, don't you put a picture of a cow being murdered in my BTG? Everything is spoiled. So this book they call Bhagavad Gita is spoiled. It's spoiled. I don't care. Not only that. Those paintings are very dear to Srila Prabhupada. I signed with Srila Prabhupada as the ISKCON representative. I signed with him as the author the Macmillan contract. And in the first paragraph of that contract, Srila Prabhupada says, these paintings belong to me. They're not part of this copyright. They were so dear to Srila Prabhupada. He had supervised a lot of them personally. And there were 48 color illustrations in the original Bhagavad Gita, the one he had published by Macmillan, and they took all of them out except 2 and put a couple of their own in. And the picture that the son Jaya was relating to Dhritarashtra from his heart, they took that out and replaced it with another picture of Sanjaya talking to Dhritarashtra. And instead of a picture in the heart, like Srila Prabhupada says, we all have TV in the heart, he was seeing it in the heart and relating what he saw to Dhritarashtra. Instead of that, they took the picture out of his heart and put it in a bubble above his head like a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Some sort of genie. Yeah, right.
So, look, if you get into it, you'll see that the infiltration, and that was back in the 70s, right? So, I mean...
1970.
Yes. The movement is like thoroughly, every nook and cranny. And it's beginning to resemble a KRISHNA movement. I mean, the Gaudiya Math has their bee bags and their deities and their temples and their books and their japa beads, but their Srila Prabhupada said in 72 lecture, he said, I have personal experience of a great institution being lost by the whimsical behavior of disciples who neglected the order of their spiritual master, and everything was lost. He's talking about the Gaudiya Math in 72. The Gaudiya Math was lost in 36 because our Param Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, told him, you have a GBC. He never said to be an Acharya. But the first thing they did as soon as he passed away was to start fighting over who's the next Acharya. They disconnected. You see, the connection with the spiritual master is through following his instructions. If you don't follow his instructions, you lose your connection. It's simple. It's very simple. Very logical. So the Gaudiya Math lost their connection with Bhaktisiddhanta back in 1936, but they're still going on. They've got the temples, they've got their deities, they've got the books, they've got, they're going on, but they're Kanishtas. I wrote the letter to Srila Prabhupada. I took a chance. He didn't want us criticizing his brothers, his god brothers. But I wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, we went down the Bhaktisiddhanta Road to the Gaudiya Math Temple like it was on the itinerary, and Srila Prabhupada never approved of it, but it was on the itinerary because we choose to put it there. And so we went down the road, and I said, I went with everybody else, and we sat there, and there was a long table covered with white cloth, and the god brother Srila Prabhupada was sitting behind the table, and one of them, Sridhar, got up and said, I wanted to thank you all for coming here from all over the world to help us with our work. And I thought, what? I wrote Srila Prabhupada, what work are they doing? They're not doing anything. You're doing it. They're a bunch of Kanishta Adhikaris, and they're claiming to be and thanking us for coming to help with their work. He wrote back that famous letter, which he described how his godbrothers had no heart for preaching, and that his Guru Maharaj left sooner. Otherwise, he was disgusted, and so he left sooner. Otherwise, he would have stayed longer. It's right there in print. I'm sure you read that letter. Many devotees have. It defines the Gaudiya Math as having no heart for preaching. They simply are after prasadam, chapatis, and engaging their disciples with transcendental trickery. I can read it to you.
Transcendental trickery. Okay, yeah. So you're equating that to what's going on in present day so-called ISKCON movement, which is not actually Prabhupada's movement.
Well, that's a good conclusion. You can hear the ring of truth, and that's what's needed. See, but that's very rare. There's a lot of other noise, and a lot of worship of persons who are really not qualified. But what can I say? It's all become a joke as far as GOPAL is concerned. He's not the center. They put all these other people in the center. It all started right after he left. 11 men he appointed jumped on the seat. They had 11 Vyasasans made, all exactly identical, all in a semicircle, put in the back of the room in Mayapur. It was shocking. I saw it. It was shocking. What is he doing? They're jumping on the seat. Pujun wrote a letter. He said, he said, I've seen it. This is not good. You should be sitting on the same level as your godbrothers. You can't sit on a higher place in front of your godbrothers. This is etiquette. So they jumped on the seat and they played guru. They were appointed, but not to be worshipped like a replacement for Shilabhava. They weren't acharyas. They were officiating acharyas.